Well, hello everyone, it's Don, and the other video is just now ending. So, welcome. I really can't tell if anybody's out there, so we're just going to sit here for just another minute, because I got a funny feeling there's going to be some folks still watching the other broadcast, catching up. Okay, I'm streaming, I'm broadcasting. I think I'm good. If anybody's out there, say hello, please. Hey, there we go. Hello, Linda. Hello, Cheryl. Good to see you. All right, so it does look like we have bodies here. So, everybody enjoying the weather? Hello, Denise. How's the weather up in Michigan? We are getting pummeled down here by this hurricane coming through. Andrew, good to see you. Oh, boy. All right. It's definitely. Matthew says, what's your prediction on the storm? It's going to miss us, that's for sure, but we're going to get a lot of rain. And the retention ponds are going to be very full here at the close of the storm today. Anybody got any questions? I got a handful for going over, but I'll take the live ones first. Sunny and hot in Chicago. Okay. Well, that's pretty much normal for Chicago this time of year, right? Sunny and hot. The nice thing about down here in Florida, you know, because I've lived up in the Chicago area. I lived in North Chicago at the Great Lakes Navy Base, and it was hot, miserably hot, 102, 103. We hardly ever see temperatures break above the mid-90s here in Florida. We always got a breeze coming off either the Gulf or the ocean. So I like the weather here. Yes, it can be a little bit humid, but you get used to it after a while. You know, the folks in Arizona and New Mexico, they say, oh, it's a dry heat, it's not so bad. Yeah, you know what they call that? They call that a convection oven. I mean, I've been out to that area too, and it's like, no, I'll pass. Vegas is absolutely miserable with its dry heat. Okay, so looks like we got 45 people on, so we'll go ahead and get started with the questions since I'm not seeing any. Let's see if we can make this happen. Oh, look at that. So, the first question is, what is going on at Warm Springs Avenue and Megason Road? So that is the Encompass Rehabilitation Hospital. They started excavating for the foundation earlier this week. It's going to be a 50-bed rehab hospital. This is not a regular medical hospital. This is where, you know, you've got an extended hospital stay. Instead of keeping you in the regular hospital, they'll put you in a rehab hospital, and it's a longer-term facility. 50 beds in the first section and another 30 in phase 2. So, hey, I lost my... there we go. Let's see. We'll go back to the main screen here, because Nancy's got a great question. Nancy says they've been watering all the golf courses to lower the retention ponds in anticipation of rain. Yeah, I mean, and they do that typically. I was surprised really at the start of this whole storm cycle how full the retention ponds are. Normally they try and keep them a little bit lower, but they have been really, really full. I was at my investment property down in Moultrie Creek yesterday. What day is today? Today's Sunday, so Friday. and I was surprised at just how high that retention pond was. Hi, Victor. All right. So Matthew wants to know, is Costco still planning on coming to the Villages? Yes, as far as I know, there was a modification to their permit that was submitted, but it was retracted because they didn't have all the information. But other than that, it's still underway as far as I can tell. What is going in on the corner of 101 and 466? I can never keep 101 and 102, those 100 series roads up there coming off 466. I don't remember, Linda. I know that there is a Fifth Third Bank going in up on 466, and there's something else going up, and I don't remember what it is. So I apologize. There's too much rattling around up in here sometimes. Okay, let's go back to our questions. And, all right, Tom R. says, I recently rented a home in the, you gotta find the right screen to look at here. I recently rented a home in the Villages for a month and was able to obtain 2 resident ID cards for my sister and myself. The Villages charges a $50 processing fee to obtain these cards. Those resident IDs allow us both unlimited use of the Villages facilities, including use of sports pools. Yep, absolutely. The landlord who gave their who have their home in a family trust that rented their home to me had to temporarily turn in their resident IDs so I could get 2 cards. A Villages salesperson told me everyone who is listed on the deed is issued a resident ID card, but it's unclear what happens if the property is in trust. I am hoping to buy a Villages home in my name this year, but my sister comes to visit. I hope she could I hope she would, I hope she could again be able to use the sports pools. Please discuss resident ID cards, and specifically what happens if only one person is listed on the deed. Is only one person's ID card issued for that address? Plus, if the property is in trust, how many resident ID cards are issued? Thanks for the info. So that's a great one. And I actually have a little bit of knowledge on this. So there are 2 different ID cards that they can issue. One's green, one's blue. If you have a green one, that means you are a homeowner. You're listed on the title. If you are, or the deed, whatever you want to call it. For my son, when he came to live with us before he passed away, we got him a resident ID card, but his was blue because he's not on the title. And he had the same full privileges, and why they differentiate is beyond me. Hello, everyone. I see everybody popping in real quick. So why they differentiate, I don't know. But with your sister coming, you'll be able to get her a blue ID if she's going to be staying with you for an extended period of time. We didn't know how long my son was going to be staying with us, so that's why we got him that. Beyond that, as far as a trust, there are so many houses here that are listed in a trust, and I honestly, I don't know how they're doing it, whether they get a blue or a green, but I know they all get resident IDs because they're, that's a very typical way of doing it. So I wish I had a better answer, but that's not one I have dealt with yet. It is one of the things, though, that we are looking at doing is putting our property into a trust, just for the sake of our estate. My one son has passed away. My other son, Jeremy, who just turned 40. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling old. how do I put this nicely? I don't trust him with more than 50 cents in his pocket. It will kill him if he were to gain control of our assets after we passed away. He is very irresponsible with money and with his possessions. So a trust is definitely something that we are looking at doing. So Jim wants to know what is being built on the east side of Powell Road at 466A. It has 2 stories and appears to be in storage units. Powell Road at 466. Oh, that's Chipotle. That's going in there, and you're talking about the one next to McDonald's. So, yeah. Let's see. Chris says, "Hi Don. As you know, our home is being built in Shady Brook. Do you need ARC approval if you add gutters to your new home? I have gotten conflicting answers. Do you have any experience? Can you clarify?" So I did have Hills Gutters put gutters on my home, as did the home next to us. We asked about it, and he said he would put the stuff in, but we didn't sign any paperwork, so I'm kind of confused. Gutters, I believe you do need ARC approval. I'm going to go ahead and put in the request this week because I have to make sure I got all the bases covered. But anyway, typically though, gutters aren't a big issue. In Shady Brook, it won't even go to the ARC. It will go to the developer's rep. David says, "My wife and I are digging the red shirt you sported on today's video. Wear it often." Thank you. Yeah, I have all the different colors of shirts for my company. All right, let's go on to the next question. Aaron S. wants to know, have they broke ground on Oak Hollow Postal Station yet? Nope, not yet. Not that I've seen. I keep looking for it. Ask a Teacher says, we are on a water lot in Moultrie. The ornamental grass that was planted along the water by the villages is getting so tall that it's beginning to block our view. Does the villages ever trim those, or would we be okay trimming them ourselves? Do not trim them yourselves. You are not allowed in that wetlands area. That is specifically identified in your deed restrictions, so don't go in there. Call district property management. Tell them it needs to be trimmed. That is their responsibility, and they are supposed to keep it trimmed. You know, if you start getting a tree growing and it's blocking your view, nah. But some of these ornamental grasses, yeah, they do get a little bit tall, especially in the summertime, because things grow so fast here in Florida with all the rain that we get. Josephine B. says, "Hi Don, my husband and I watch your videos thoroughly enjoy them. We are presently renting a home in Lake Denham with plans to build in Shady Brook. We are very concerned about the temporary road put in that diverts traffic off of 470 and brings it right through the neighborhoods. Will old 470 be reopened? Do they intend to run the truck traffic down Central Parkway? As you can imagine, we are very concerned about this. Any information you can provide, greatly appreciated. Thanks. Maybe we'll see you for an ice cream one day. Sincerely, Joe and Bernie." All right, so 470. A part of it will be reopened, and that is the part where Station 49 meets, or where it meets McNeil Road. So it will end at McNeil Road, and at that corner of McNeil and 470 is where Station 49 is currently being built. I drove by there. I happened to see them working on the foundations. It looks like they've got the footers in, because I thought I saw top hats on the rebar sticking up. Top hats are those little plastic caps that they put on it so that if you get near it, you don't get stabbed by the rebar. But The traffic will go down Central Parkway. It will go through the traffic circles. It will go through the residential area. One of the things that is concerning with the truck traffic is going through the traffic circles. They're very challenging for much of the truck traffic. I think what we're going to see, though, is more traffic diverting down 48 and going through Center Hill and then going over to 75. Right now, they use 470 as a shortcut to go from the Turnpike over to 75 southbound, or from 75 northbound to get to the Turnpike, because for whatever reason, the Turnpike didn't make that possible at the intersection of the Turnpike and 470. Right. Let's see. Looks like we got some more questions coming up. Oh, boy. Yeah. So let's go back and we'll transition here. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Hi, Don. Do you know what they are clearing the land for just south of the Turnpike? On 301, just south of the Turnpike. Bob, I haven't seen anything going on south of the Turnpike. North of the Turnpike, there is a commercial area being cleared. No, wait, is that north or south? I gotta look at the map. Okay, yeah, that is north. So just north and on the west side of 301, they are clearing land. And that is, again, a small commercial strip mall like that's going in there. So that's what's going on there. I don't know of anything though south of the Turnpike. Victoria wants to know, in a veranda with a back master bedroom, can you hear any pool noise from the pool pump motor while in your bedroom? Well, if you have the windows closed, probably not. It depends on what side the pool equipment is on, to be honest with you. I mean, if it's on the same side, I'm going to say probably not. Because normally because it's on the side of the house and the door faces the back. I have a sliding glass door that faces my pool in my courtyard villa, and on that same side is where my pool equipment is. And when it's running during the daytime, I can just barely hear it. At nighttime, the pool equipment is off, so you don't hear it at all. Let's see. Andrew says, terrific channel, Don. Okay, I booked 4 months ago for a lifestyle visit starting tomorrow for 5 nights, flying American Airlines, and they're not sure if the flight is still on, out of Reagan National. Crystal ball guess. I think you'll be okay coming in tomorrow. The storm is moving pretty quick to the north. David Mullen says, do you need ARC approval to change out the exterior and garage lights? I don't believe so, but honestly, if you're ever in doubt, you just submit it. It's one piece of paper. Tell them what you're doing, and if you don't need it, they'll let you know right away. Jerry asked, Don, in hindsight, when buying your courtyard villa, is there anything you would have done differently? If so, please share. Thank you. What would I have done different with buying my courtyard villa? I have been in my courtyard villa for 10 years and 4 months, and I have been extremely happy. My courtyard villa is one of the unique ones. I have an end unit. It's a corner lot. My lot in my courtyard villa is bigger than my lot in my veranda that I own by over 1,000 square feet. So I have a pool, which is something you don't often have room for in a courtyard villa because the lots are relatively small, about 5,000 square feet. But as far as things I would do differently, I guess it's the same thing I'm doing right now with this veranda. I would not move in right away. When we closed, it was like the Beverly Hillbillies out in the parking lot of the sales center, because my truck was out there and it was full, and I had a trailer behind it and it was packed, and my wife's car, it was packed, and we went straight from closing to unloading in the house. I would not have done that if I had a second chance. I would not plan on moving in for at least a month or so to give myself time to do things like, some of the stuff I did would be putting crown molding in, getting the house painted. If there's anything bad I got to say about the houses in the village, it's the white paint on the walls that they put up. It's a flat paint. It's chalky. It's terrible. You can't clean it. It is the worst paint I have ever seen. In our courtyard villa, I painted every room except for my office. It's still white, and that's only a month or two away from getting taken care of. I'm going to paint it because I hate looking at the white. But in the other house, or throughout the rest of the house, it has an eggshell coating paint on it, which is easy to clean. And with 2 golden retrievers, you need it. Their tails hit the wall and they leave dirt all over the place. But other than that, give yourself some time to do some changes. Many of the things like plantation shutters, they take 3 or 4 weeks to get in. So you want to do give yourself some time before you move in if you can. Hi Don, I called ARC and they told me you don't need to request gutters from them. Have a cottage home in Moultrie Creek, had stripes gutters, do ours. Okay, that's good to know, Diane. Again, with the ARC, if you're in doubt, just ask. If it needs ARC approval in the new areas, again, it goes to the developer's rep. They'll approve it or disapprove it. But if if it doesn't need approval, the community standards will respond right away and let you know. Robert says, do you know what's being built on 301 just north of the turnpike on the left? It just broke ground kind of across from alligators. Yes. So, Robert, that is the area I was just talking about that Bob asked about. That is a small commercial area that is being built. From what I could see in the drawings on the Swift Mud site, it looks like it's going to be a strip mall, that kind of thing. Let's see. That was the area thing. Okay, good. All right. Get a grip band. Interesting. Some of these names are interesting, folks. Get a grip band. Okay. Will owners be able to fence their backyards in Middleton? So in the Middleton family area, yes, you can put up a fence. There are many houses there. If you look at my last video, 146 that came out 2 weeks ago, there are many homes there that have fences, different types. It is in their deed restrictions. I believe they have the equivalent that they also need to get it approved, also the material type. All right. Oops, wrong button here. All right. So, anybody else have a question right now? All right, we'll go back to the other questions I have then. Here we go. Mr. Wiley. So when I read this, I looked around for my dad. Thanks, Jim. But please call me Don. That's what I've gone through all my life. All right. Mr. Wiley, love your videos of all going on here in the villages. Have not missed one in 4 years. In the 4 years we've been here. Wow, that's pretty loyal. Thank you for watching. We saw that another restaurant closed in Spanish Springs, and those of us in the north are wondering if this is the beginning of the end for Spanish Springs. Do you have any intel on if or what might be going into the old Margarita Republic, World of Beer, and now Gators Dockside locations? Should we be looking to move south? Seems unlikely that they will give up on Spanish Springs, but who really knows? Appreciate any insight you can provide or point us towards who might know. So, Victoria, thank you as always. You're so generous. Every week you donate, and I appreciate that so much. So what I know is that restaurants are very difficult places to be successful in. Spanish Springs area, all right, it has a problem, and it's the same thing that caused Hacienda Hills to go down, and the same thing that caused Katy Bell's to go down, and it affects all the restaurants in that area, specifically in the town square. Many of the folks there in that area that visit there, they're not spending a lot of money in the restaurants. And, they'll come in and they'll sit down and, they'll get let's say a margarita, they'll get some chips and a drink and drink water and sit there for a while. And if you're not generating revenue in these restaurants, they can't stay open. I went to World of Beer the last time I went there before it went under. And that was the evening that they had the evening with the developer, what the VHA was hosting. And myself and my friend Jack, who is on the CDD 10 board, we went there to go watch it. And it was shockingly empty. And I was truly surprised at how little business they were getting. If you don't utilize these businesses, they can't stay in business. They can't keep employees. Wait staff relies on tips, and if they're not bringing people in the door, the wait staff doesn't hang around, and that impacts the service, and it just becomes an ugly spiral going down. So we really got to, support our restaurants and our businesses in the town squares, especially the restaurants. Yeah. So as far as what's going on in Spanish Springs, I know that the developer is spending a tremendous amount of money revitalizing the area and trying to make it better. The movie theater, obviously that's a whole different issue. That was converted to what do they call it? A gymnasium, health spa, whatever you want to call it. They've just invested a lot in Blondie's. That's opened up now. I haven't been up there but once or twice since they've opened. I haven't seen what's going on there during the evening when they have entertainment, and whether people are camping out at the tables and not buying things. And that to me will be the kiss of death to Blondie's if that's what's happening. We'll see, because I know they have outside tables. And obviously they have a great location, a good view of the band. But I don't think Spanish Springs is going anywhere. Again, I think they're working to revitalize it, to try and freshen it up. If they can bring in new restaurants, they will. If not, they'll find something else to do with the properties. Restaurants, though, are definitely important. All right, so let's go back because we've got some other questions. All right, and let's see. We talked about Middleton. Andrew says, can lifestyle visitors come by and watch the drone fires in the villages on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Thanks. Yes, you can. If you want, you can come fly with us too. You're there. You can use the facilities. We don't require you to be a member, just to fly safe. If you have questions, you can ask the other flyers there about safety rules. We're pretty easygoing. We just ask that you not fly over people. If you're going to the ball fields, don't fly over the other ball field if there's people playing. If you do, then 200 feet over so you don't bother them. Otherwise, it's, the ball players kind of get like little kids, and they'll be standing there staring up and not paying attention to the game. And if you fly over the air gun range, keep 100 feet above them. If you're going to transit over, we don't stay over them. We just transit over them. BB says, do you think a gym like Genesis will open in Eastport, Middleton area? Yes, I do. A map I've seen shows a gym going in the area that is basically on the opposite side of the road of where the Middleton hotel is going in. So, and honestly, that is the view that my investment property will probably have here in a couple of years, is the gym. John Alexander says, hi, Don, do you know if the ice cream parlor in Middleton will be part of a chain? I have no idea, never heard of it before, but ice cream, actually it's frozen custard, it's not ice cream. But, that's always good. Let's see, Tom R. Okay, again, thank you again, Victoria. She donates every week, and I greatly appreciate it. Tom R. says, there are 5 or 6 sections of Villa Designer / Courtyard homes nearly complete in the section north of McNeil, between Marsh Bend and Corbin. That's Well Point. And I featured those in the video today. The first section nearest Marsh Bend Trail is, sorry, the beeping sound is my phone. I'm getting emails like crazy, it sounds like. The first set nearest Marsh Bend Trail is nearly complete. I believe they've got to put in the PVC fencing between the homes because they're going to be, what do they call them, cottage villas. I don't know if they're going to be lifestyle homes. He said, I heard some may be new lifestyle visit homes and some will be for sale. What do you see as they will be, what do you see as when they will be listed for sale? So probably another month will be the first section for sale. The limiting factor, I think, is the pool and the postal station. It's not done yet, but looking at it from what I've seen in the past, they're about a month away. They're probably 2 weeks away from putting water in the pool. And John Alexander says, agreed, frozen custard is better than ice cream. Honestly, I've never been able to tell the difference, really. I'm a big chocolate ice cream fan, but I've been trying to be on a diet for the last 3.5 months, and I've really laid off the ice cream. I think I've had it once, and that was the Zanzibar chocolate over at Darlin Sweet Shop. It's to die for. Victoria says, what differentiates designers? Yeah, I have a tongue. It's just tied in a knot. What differentiates designer homes from verandas besides fencing in verandas? There are some minor differences in the floor plans, but other than that, they are just designer homes with a fenced-in yard. Clark asks, have know anything about the apartments going on County Road 470 across from the villages? Apartments, okay, so you're talking about the apartments that are on 470 that will be north of Middleton. Andrew, thank you very much. You guys really help a lot with helping make ends meet with these videos, because it takes a lot of time and money. And I just invested in a new monitor because one of mine's giving me problems. But it looks like they are working the foundations for those apartments. My understanding is they will be I don't want to say rent controlled, but lower price apartments than the lofts. The lofts are pretty pricey. Let's see. Eb2000 said, Don, did you see my email a couple of weeks ago on how Michiganders pronounce Traverse as Grand Traverse Plaza? Yes, and I did. And I went, I looked at it. I saw the pronunciation, and I'm assuming I read it right. It's Traverse. And so, not Traverse. So, yeah, I did see that. I went to the website. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think I've been to Michigan, for 20 minutes? That's about it. Anyway, let's see. What else? Any more questions? No more questions coming in. We'll go back to the question page. Let's see. Oh, that was the last question I had. Holy mackerel, we ran through all the questions. We'll go back to the main screen. I did have something. Today is an important day in history. It's the 234th birthday of the U.S. Coast Guard. This is for those sailors that are all 6 feet tall or higher, right? Because, I mean, it's Coast Guard. They got to be able to walk ashore if the boat sinks. So they got to be over 6 feet. That's a Navy joke. I apologize for any of you Coast Guard guys. I have a lot of respect for the Coast Guard. Anybody that gets issued a bulletproof vest the first day they get on board ship is not a place. That's not a place where I want to work. They do a lot of security work, drug interdiction, things like that. Very dangerous work, and that's the enforcement side. And we won't even get into the rescue side. That is the guys that are like rescue swimmers and they do rescues for boats in trouble. That's pretty harrowing work. I was on submarines. When the weather got rough, we just went deep and got out of the storm. I wouldn't want to be on a Coast Guard ship. They're very small. Even their big cutters are small. But it's tough work. But again, I got a lot of respect for the Coast Guard. Just something I'm real thrilled about happened this week. I got an endorsement from the governor for my candidacy on county commission. I thought that was great. I really appreciate that from the governor. We do have a very good governor here in the state of Florida. Jim says, Abit's Frozen Custard started in Rochester, New York, and had multiple locations. The Villagers produced a YouTube video introducing Abit's Middleton location in the past few days. They look very community-minded. Yeah, I saw that video. That's how I knew about it. I don't have many inside sources that tell me too much. So Roxy, yes, the Villagers did introduce 5 new designer floor plans this week. They're not on their website, but if you go to that web page that did announce it, each of the names of those floor plans is actually a hot link, and it'll take you to the floor plans. My wife and I, we saw it, we looked at them. I didn't like anything I saw. I just didn't like the floor plans. Maybe I'm just an old fuddy-duddy stuck in my ways. But, that is, floor plans are personal preference. There are some floor plans that have been around for years that I really dislike, but it's each individual's choice on what they go with. All right, so BB asks, question, when heading south on Marsh Bend Trail from Warm Springs, what is on the right side across from Well Point, not owned by the Villagers? That is a set of rental homes very close together, which is kind of seems to be a new trend in the area. because there's another set of homes very similar to them up on Powell Road, just north of where the new Wawa is being built. And excuse me, again, they're just homes for rent. There is a huge demand for homes. This Sumter County is growing very quickly, not just from the villages, but outside of the villages, in the family areas, or the general community is growing because of the villages' growth. So, yeah, Wildwood has approved a lot of homes. And I think they've put a moratorium, actually, on approving any more new development until they get their new wastewater treatment plant online. That wastewater treatment plant doesn't affect any of the new properties in the villages. All that's going to the Gibson wastewater treatment facility, which is on, it's between 470 and Old 470 behind the new Fire Station 48. So, the villages builds all their own infrastructure. Part of the reason why we don't have a lot of impact fees here in Sumter County. Let's see. Thank you. You got my vote. Thank you, BB. I appreciate it. Annie says, "Hi, Don. Would you please give me any dates on Marabella Villa, specifically when they're going up for sale?" So Marabella is still under construction. They haven't broken ground. Well, I don't think they've broken ground on any new yet, but a lot's going on, and it happens very quickly. I shot the video in video 147 a couple of days ago. I think it was last Sunday I shot that video. I went out there because I have certain areas I have to go on Sundays because there's no construction workers. I would not expect to see those until probably the 1st of November, though. John Alexander says that true designer homes can now have fencing. Not that I am aware of. If you want fences, you got to either get a courtyard villa or a veranda home, or buy in the Middleton community. Greg R. says, "I see new designer floor plans on the website. They are all C designers." No? I believe they are, and the C is, I believe, that they're the precast homes. Linda E. says, "I don't like the new plans. Also, the besides of the houses are not appealing to all the houses, are not appealing at all as the houses farther north." Oh, yes, you've got my vote. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, some of the new floor plans I don't like either. But, yeah, they do seem to be a lot smaller in size. Looking to buy a designer Dove in Shady Brook or Water's Edge. Okay, yep. So Shady Brook shouldn't be a problem. There are a lot of custom-built home sites available. They're not view sites, though. They're interior sites, or, so they back up to another house. But they can be had for a song, really. And I see a lot of that, a lot more than they used to do. They're allowing, or they're putting in let's call it non-view custom build sites, a lot of them, because I think there's a big demand for it. Jerry Bell says, "It looks like the village is not building walls around villa neighborhoods in Wellpoint. Is that what you are seeing? Any insight?" So the wall, if it's a villa community, courtyard villas get walls. Patio villas do not. And with the courtyard villas, the interior walls normally go in towards the end. So, let's see. Jerry says, "The future apartments in today's videos, will those be 55 plus or multi-generational generational families?" I believe they are just general apartment complexes, the ones on 466A near Micro Racetrack. Just got an email. Let's see. Ed Starr says, just got an email from my village's sales associate asking if I want to install louvered privacy fence at my designer home I'm building in Shady Brook. Ed, that's an interesting thing. Can you share that with me? Just send it to live@goldwingnut.com. I'd like to read that one. That's interesting. I'll see what I can find out about it for next week. Thank you. Looking for interior non-view. Okay, so good. Jim says, we're waiting for designer home lots to be available in Wellpoint. We are a little disappointed to see in today's video that some lots are converted to non-designer. Any designer lots are many designer lots left. So I don't know the full range of Wellpoint, if there's going to be more of it on the other side of McNeil Drive, on the south side, like near the Postal station. If there are, I would definitely expect those to be designer lots because those are going to be on the golf course. Designer homes are in demand. If they're going to build designer spec homes, to make them veranda homes is putting up a wall and a fence. So if they weren't scheduled for custom builds, then they might just make them verandas, because verandas are very popular. And the big two drivers on verandas, just like courtyard villas, always have been pets and privacy. Any word on the corner lot of Chandler and 470? Nope, haven't heard anything yet, Mark. Don, you got a strong feeder band coming up through Sumter County from Debbie. Great. My pool is already full. Sharon Lee says, have you ever eaten alligator meat? If so, what does it taste like, and is it good? I have had alligator a couple of times. I hate to say it, but it tasted like chicken. But it was good. It was very hearty, much heartier than chicken is. Ed said he sent me the email. Great, I'll look at that. Let's see. The video in the new models showed the louvered fencing at 1 minute. I'll have to look at that, Greg. Love to know as well about designers for the fence. Yep. At least they show, at least what they show doesn't fully surround the lot, though. Just a freestanding privacy screen. Interesting. All right. Wow. So that's an interesting twist. Stuff happens here all the time. The folks over in sales and marketing are always trying something new, it seems like. Again, I'm not on the A list for sales and marketing, but let's see. We were just offered louvered fence as well. We are building a cottage home in Shady Brook. It's 30 feet for $3,000. Are you flipping kidding me? $100 a foot? That's outrageous. That is absolutely outrageous. Interesting, Lisa. Interesting. So I'm going to look into that this week and see what I can find out. Wow. 30 feet for $3,000. I know that on my investment property, the veranda that I bought, that would be, I got 100 feet of fence line just on the back because of the width of my lot, the way it's laid out on the water. That would be $10,000. Holy mackerel. Man, no thank you. 30 feet, too, isn't very much. Yeah, Lisa, please send me a picture. That'll be great. And we'll try and share this next week when I find out more information. 30 feet, that's not a lot of fence line. The lots are normally about 50 feet across. So all I can think of is they're trying to get rid of what we call kissing lanais that many of the homes have. I'm interested in learning about more fences as well. That's from Lisa. So yeah, something new. You never know. You know what? I'm going to jump into my email and let's see what we can find. If I can find my email, there it is. Live. So yeah, let me see if I can't share this with you all. It takes me just a second. No, it's not going to work. This software I've got is challenging at times. Let's see. Louvered privacy. Okay, so I'll read this to you. It says, happy Friday. I'm reaching out because you happen to have some... I'm reaching out because you happen to have some folks on our home site reservation who have already completed their home order, for whom the timeline allows us to offer the newest louvered privacy fencing option, which can be demonstrated at Unit 222, Lot 98. The cost, including change order, to add this great new privacy feature to our folks' existing home order will be $3,000. Please reach out to the folks, blah, blah, blah. So Ed, this says you got to reach out by Wednesday. Wow, that's pretty short notice. It doesn't say much about the length, but okay. So that's a new twist, very new twist. All right. Let me see, go back to my list. Let's see, I can send you a picture. Pricing doesn't cannibalize the courtyard villas and verandas. Yeah, I would agree. That $3,000 is pretty expensive. I mean, wow. Yeah, $3,000 is a lot. Those fences discussed are optional, or must a fence be installed? Again, Tom, I don't know. We're gonna see what we can find out this week. I'll reach out to some of the sales folks I know, and some other people that happen to be in the know, and we'll go from there. So we are coming up on our hour. So unless there's many questions, I have one request. So one of the things I'm working on for the live broadcast is to incorporate a same time call, where I'll be able to put the same time up on the screen. And I'm looking for 3 to 6 people to help me with testing in the next couple of weeks. If you're kind of tech savvy, because you're going to need to understand how to use Windows or your Mac OS, as well as the Zoom software, and bounce back and forth between during the testing. If you're interested in helping me out on that, send me an email. Just let me know, give me your name, your phone number, and that you're interested. Send it to live@Wingnut, and we'll try and work through something in the next 2 or 3 weeks to see if we can't make this another option. One of the screens that I use, I bounce back and forth between the emails. I can do. This is a web browser, so if you want to do something in a web browser, I can do that. But I've played with it a little bit with my other computer and with my cell phone using Zoom, and I seem to have good luck, but I'm logging in all in the same account. I only have one account, so having some people with a separate account would definitely make it a lot easier. And other things like, working with the sound and that, I have no way of working with that. So live phone calls, that's something else I'm looking at. I have the device I need. It's a little tiny device here. This plus, this little box. So it's a little thing here, it plugs into here, and it plugs into my cell phone, and then this plugs into the speakers and the microphone jack. And I believe I can do that with that. I'm still working on it. It's sometimes it can be challenging trying to work through technology issues by yourself, especially on a platform like this. But again, if you're interested and you'd like to help out, send me an email. Again, give me your name, your phone number, so that I can contact you and we can set up a time to do some testing. Other than that, the call that seemed to have slowed down, we got 184 people on right now. I think that's a new high. During the premiere, we had over 350 people watching the premiere during its live broadcast, which is, I think that's also a new high, which is kind of cool. Obviously, Debbie had a lot to do with that, and not my Debbie, but the Storm Debbie. People are kind of bored sitting around their house, I guess. So again, I want to thank you all for joining me. I will leave you once again with the thought that this life is short. Many of us here are in that fourth quarter of the game, and I just so encourage you, take the time, enjoy life. It's so uncertain. You hear too often people one day to the next. Thank you, John. I just got your email saying that you'll help out. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. So many things can happen that, enjoy it while you can. Live life to its fullest. We are very blessed to live in this country, and if we live here in the villages, very blessed to live here in the villages. Again, life is great. Enjoy it to its fullest. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I want to thank everyone for joining. We'll do this again next week without the premiere. Video number 148. I'm not sure if it's 2 or if it's going to be 3 or 4 weeks out. The 148 would normally be scheduled for the 18th, which is 2 days before the election. I will be busy that day, meeting with a group, and so that video is delayed. It's going to be delayed either a week or 2 weeks, and with that will be more information about video 150. I plan on doing an event, a live event where we'll get together, we'll show the video live, and we will have a few libations, enjoy ourselves. I've already reached out to Fred, the owner of FMK Restaurants, about doing it at one of his restaurants. I wanted to try and do it at Victory Family Sports Grill, but it's not going to be open in time, which was a bummer. So we're probably looking at one of the other ones at the south end. I got to go by today and figure out who's got the biggest parking lot, because when we did this for video 100, we ran out of parking, and the place was packed. So I'm trying to figure out which is going to be the biggest and best venue. We had like 350 people show up. It was awesome. It caught me by surprise. And honestly, that was the first time I'd ever hosted anything like that, did something live. And the first 10 minutes, I was sweating like crazy. BB, thank you for offering to help. We'll be in touch. But I was I was sweating up a storm, And then Bill, one of my friends, he handed me a drink. It tasted like iced tea. It was iced tea. It was a Long Island iced tea. That really loosened me up a little bit and calmed me down. But, we're going to, again, more information on when and where that's going to happen coming up. Again, thank you all for joining me. Have a great rest of your weekend. Try and stay dry, stay safe, and thanks again. Take care.